broadcast live.
Coming to you live.
We're live
From the basement of an abandoned training facility where we talk about fighting, training, and events. It's the Fight Mixer Show on the Three Beards Podcast, where you can hear about all the local and world combat sports happenings. Get ready. It's time to gear up and square up because we're going live.
And now,
Broadcasting live.
We will broadcast live
With Craig, Chris, Austin, and Matt on the Fight Mixer Show.
And welcome to the Fight Mixer Show on the Three Beards Podcast. My name's Craig, along with me, Chris, Austin, and we would like to welcome Jim the Beast Alers to the show.
What's up?
How are you, sir?
I'm good. First of all, that's the best opening little beginning I've seen on a podcast yet. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, Matt, our producer, he put a lot of work into that, and we gave her little, things like, okay, add this, add that, do this, and by the time he brought that last one, we're like, that's it. Let's do that. Cool. Well, appreciate that. That's very, very high praise. So, thank you again for coming on the show. Hope everything's going well with you in this quarantine lockdown. Don't hang around with people, even though we hang around with people.
Man, it's definitely been interesting, that's for sure. Just gotta find things to do, you know?
Yeah, Governor gave us WWE.
MMA's coming back. If WWE is essential, MMA's got to be essential.
If WWE's allowed, man, I'd better be able to punch somebody in the face.
Well, that's just it. I mean, if two wrestlers are going to be able to fake go around and touch each other, I mean, we got to be able to let two fighters get in there, and so that'll be good. I'm hoping. So
we'll see, man.
Now, I was telling all the guys we were watching some of the things. One of the first things I wanted to ask you about. I mean, you kind of, obviously MMA, UFC. You go through your career, and lately you've been doing a lot of bare knuckle boxing, which I'm going to tell you, you live up to your name, the Beast, because I mean, right out of the gate,
right out the gate, you give him the business.
You don't even let the guy take a breath, and all of a sudden your hand is here, and you're just pop right in the face.
Yeah, man. The way I looked at it is that I look at these like, man, these were old school street fights. And for me, I remember growing up, if I let the other guy take a hit first or something, I'm already losing this fight. So I want to surprise them. I want to give them something that they can't train for, a pace that nobody else has. So I just want to be in their face, no matter what are they doing, what are they training for. It's something that just, when you get hit, you're like, oh, snap. I didn't get ready for this.
I mean, looking over a lot of your stuff, I didn't know what was more impressive, your MMA or your bare knuckles, because Garcia, he looked real confident after that first blow you gave him. He was like, I don't know about this one. What did I get myself into? He kind of just like, what did I get myself into?
He wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready at all.
Yeah, he wasn't. You did.
That was a cool fight, because coming up, I watched so many of Garcia's fights in WEC and then UFC. And it was actually really cool to be the first person to ever finish Garcia through punches. So
did you think you were going to get him, or did you know you were going to get him as soon as you got in the ring? Are you kind of like, he might give me a little run for my money?
Man, every fight I'm going in there thinking, man, I could get beat up this fight, So I definitely thought, this guy has probably double the amount of fights I have. So I thought it was going to be a lot tougher than it was. Thank God for me, it was a quick fight. I was in there and out pretty fast.
Now the kind of the in and out, and I was telling Chris, I think Austin was in on that conversation too, and I was like, I go, honestly, you remind me a lot of how Conor McGregor tackles a fight. He goes in just full intensity, and then if it goes past the second round, things really start slowing down. And you were in that bare knuckle bout, and I want to say it was Caleb Harris. That's that one that went the full distance. I mean, that was an all out, and I mean, you could tell you both were you were gassed, but you hurt him so bad in those first 2 rounds that he was just, you had the ability to breathe as he was trying to recover from your blows.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my goals too. That if I do get tired, I'm hoping that I've tired you out enough that I just have a little bit more left in the tank than you have to keep going and to get that win.
Now, do you train anywhere near the Orlando area?
I lived in Orlando for 10 years. I'm a UCF alumni. I see the UCF in the background, so hell yeah. No. But I trained over there with everybody. Back when I was in Orlando, there was only, at the time, I believe there was like one gym. It was just Gracie Baja. And I remember as a white belt, as a brand new guy, just, what's up, Debbie? Love you. I was just remember watching some guys like Seth Petrozelli and Paul Rodriguez, like some of the pioneers of MMA, Ben Saunders up in Orlando, training. And then from there, those schools just kind of branched out, and we've got American Top Team, the Jungle, and Combat Club, and all so many gyms now up there. But I lived there for 10 years. I just moved back down here 4 years ago to South Florida.
Where you at in South Florida? Lauderdale, Riviera. Where you at in South Florida?
I'm in Pembroke Pines. I have my own gym in Pembroke Pines.
Okay.
If you guys know the area, it's about 30 minutes from Fort Lauderdale.
What days are you usually in the gym? Because I'm always down that way. Actually, I'm always pretty much down that way, at least once a month.
Alers Martial Arts, my own gym. I'm all the way out west, like by the Everglades.
Okay.
Damn.
All right.
Before we go back to
go ahead, Chris.
No, before we go back to you're starting out in UCF and stuff like that, I was looking up your topology on here. Back in 2012, September and December, what happened with Conor McGregor? It got canceled twice. You were supposed to fight him.
Yeah, so he actually, we had a fight set. It was supposed to be for the Cage Warriors titles. Cage Warriors kind of brought me over at first, just kind of to beat this guy or to lose. I don't remember, but I ended up beating this one guy by TKO, just kind of destroying this guy that they had set to fight for the title. And so they offered me a 5-fight deal over there. So my next fight was supposed to be against Conor McGregor for the title, and he ends up pulling out 1 week before the fight. He apparently, I don't know, he broke his orbital. Artem broke his orbital, they say. And so if he says he didn't pull out, that's a lie. That's one time for sure he pulled out. And I ended up taking the fight anyways. They asked me if I still wanted to fight. So I fought anyways. I fought some black belt from a Brazilian black belt and ended up submitting him.
Caesar.
Yeah.
So
and then
in December, you tried to fight him again.
Yeah, so we were supposed to fight again, and I got hurt, I believe, but it was like, I didn't give him 1 week. I was out. The fight got matched, and I got hurt like 6 or 7 weeks out. It wasn't too big of a crazy deal. But then he went to the UFC right after that.
Damn.
Now, the reason I was kind of before Austin brought that question, wanted to bring it to your gym, like how close it was, is because there's a certain member on the program that has a feeling that he could take you in a bout. And I told him I'm not willing to let him die. So it would have to be in a sparring setting where we at least give him gear.
Full pads, some gear.
Because it might be the Florida State Tomahawk that was right above you. So just saying that he might have been the one prior to you going on telling both of us that, I can take him. I'm like, you're gonna die.
I believe in any challenge. I grew up in the hood. I've never really been knocked out. You know what I mean? And professional skills, I know you got it. But I would love to put on some pads and run with. If I lay down, I lay down. I go to sleep. Just wake me up. Say, hey, wake up, buddy. I knocked you out. No hard feelings. I mean, hey, but I would love to come to your gym. 'Cause I'm always in Pahokee, Belglade, West Palm. So
we'll film that live on Fight.
Oh, for sure, man. All you got to do is just come sign the waiver, and you're good to go.
There you go.
Okay. But that uppercut with Lane, he wasn't ready at all either. Like none of your opponents are ready, but it seemed like at the end he was talking trash. Like, was he, before you hugged him, was he like, nah, I wasn't. I was good. I was good. But the ref stopped the fight because he really turned his back, and you could have hit him, but you kind of didn't hit him.
Yeah, he was talking crap from. Yeah, we lost you, I think, for a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, you're good.
Yep.
All right, cool. So he was talking crap in the beginning. I guess that's just his little play thing that he plays around with, that he just kind of pretends to be this tough guy or whatever it is. And so I love just like letting people talk crap, and just I like to talk with facts. I just called him out on, when was the last time, he won and his record, it's just little things like that. And I'm just like, man, I'm just out of your league, and just kind of shows it there. But he wanted to keep going. I mean, I don't blame him. Who doesn't want to keep going? He got up, but he definitely wasn't there. You saw the way he got up all wobbly, and I was honestly just surprised the referee let it keep going.
Yeah.
That was in Florida too, wasn't it? That was in Florida, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know how Florida is, man. Yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, man,
WWE is allowed in Florida, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I see you got.
I was doing some research real quick, and I find it funny. It may be stupid, but you're an MMA fighter, and you chose to get a degree in elementary school, teacher. Why? What is that?
So it all happened like at the same time. My original dream wasn't like to be a prize fighter. I originally I've worked with kids like my whole life, man. I worked at after school programs and summer camps and stuff like that. And at first I wanted to be a firefighter. I went to school for EMT and everything, and everybody I worked with on my clinicals would just die. Everybody died. And I was like, yo, man, this is not for me.
Awesome.
So then you went into a profession where you could kill them with your hands.
You went into the
so at the same time I was doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I kind of just wanted to see like if jiu-jitsu will work in a real fight. I want to see, can this work? And so a coach kind of introduced me to the MMA part of it, and I ended up just taking a pro fight right off the bat. And so I was kind of doing pro fights for fun, just because, hey, if you take this fight, I'll give you $500. I was like, okay, and I went and won. Back then, $500 was, when you're in college, I was like, oh, sweet, $500. And so, I was just kind of taking the fights as they came. There still was no dream of making it to like the UFC or anything big. But while I was going to school, and I noticed I kept winning, and I was winning pretty easily. And and so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to school, get this degree, and we'll see what happens. And so after I graduated, I was about 7-1 at the time, and I was like, man, I feel like I have what it takes to make it to the UFC. I can always go back and be a teacher. And so I just continued on that path, and luckily it worked out.
There you go.
Wow, that's awesome.
Now, what made you choose UCF as your college?
My wife was going there, and I was just like, I might as well just give it a try. And and I'm glad, man. It was awesome. It was a good experience. And especially for education, they have a great education program there. So I use my teaching degree every day, every single day when I teach jiu-jitsu, when I teach MMA. I tell people it's something that you have to learn and have a passion for. So I'm glad I did go to school for that.
Did you kind of lose interest in MMA that sent you over to bare knuckles? Or you were just like, I'm tired of MMA? Or,
how'd that transition go from MMA to bare knuckle?
Yeah, so I fought in Russia. If you saw I think my last MMA fight, it was a loss. And just that during that whole fight camp and training camp, I had 2 knee surgeries back to back, both my legs. And I was just like not in the right place mentally. MMA became so stressful, and the fact that my record meant so much. If I want to make it back to the UFC, I need to get on a win streak, and money and everything became such a huge factor. And it just stopped becoming fun for me, and it became work, and I was like, wait, when did this happen? When did this stop becoming fun? Because that's why I started doing it. That's why I was doing it. It was fun. It excited me. But when I didn't want to be at the gym anymore, really, I was like, man, I don't really want to do this anymore. And especially losing by a submission in the Russia fight, it was just like, man, I've never even been put in a submission before. Something's off. And I flirted with some attempts at coming back a couple times. It never happened. And then bare knuckle just reached out to me, man, randomly. They offered me a price at first that I was like, hell nah, definitely not worth it to get in there and just fight with no gloves. And then David Feldman, the president and CEO, he called me back himself, and he was just like, man, I apologize. That is disrespectful, that offer. Gave me a new offer. I thought about it, and I was like, man, I have nothing to lose. I don't care about this bare knuckle record at the time. I was like, if I lose, I lose. And it was a set pay no matter what. I was like, I make the same amount. Awesome. I had just started my gym. I was like, I could use this money to get the gym up and going. Why not? I expected to go in there and get fucked up, man, like bloodied, scarred, everything. So I prepared myself for that. But ended up winning in like 45 seconds by that my key move, the uppercut. And I just never looked back, man. I kind of just lit a new fire for fighting.
I don't think Elvin was ready for that. I mean, when you came out of that, you came out at that bell. I mean, it wasn't even like all right, let's set up and let's get in this thing. I mean, you went bam, and you were on him. He was up against the thing, and like I said, you were just this instant, just rocking, and it's like he couldn't get time to catch his breath, and you had him.
But I noticed.
Man, I surprised myself.
But I noticed you've been fighting for so long. You have good discipline. You watch your opponent at all times. Like when he's hurt, and you go ahead and put him down, you don't get that extra blow in. There's a lot of fighters that can't control that last blow. I noticed when he turned his back, you could have just leveled him, but you held back because you knew he was done. You were like, he's done. So
yeah, I think that's what especially against my fight with Caleb Harris, tough kid, young kid, has a lot going for him. I see a big career in combat sports for him, but I just think my fight IQ and just my overall ring and cage experience, is what won me that fight. And I think that's what won me a lot of fights in my career.
You don't get called a veteran for no reason. I mean, you can tell when he's gassed. You can tell when you've heard him. I mean, that's what veterans do. Veterans study the sport, and you do a pretty good job at studying the sport. Debbie asked, do you plan on fighting anymore? Or, and is there anybody you want to call out tonight? Anybody you call out, we'll make sure they get it.
Man, I'm itching to get back in there, man. It was my last fight was in my hometown. I had that place packed with bare knuckle beast shirts all over the place. I believe, and just like Jeremy Davis just says, man, I believe right now I'm the biggest star right now in bare knuckle. They bring in guys here and there, and it's like Bigfoot or Tiago. They come for one fight and they're done. I'm in there, I'm the guy that people now are waiting to watch. They're like, man, I can't wait for the bare knuckle beast to get in there. So I want that title, man. I can't believe that I'm in a tournament right now for a title. I believe I should have just been handed that title after the dominating performances I put on. But I'll go in there and knock out whoever they put in front of me if I have to get that belt.
So is that scheduled for after? So is that scheduled for after Corona, or are y'all putting that on the schedule now?
Man, when is Corona going to be over? Nobody knows. But
I don't know. I mean,
I think.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that?
I said hopefully soon. Hopefully, really soon.
Oh yeah, hopefully.
We all
that's the goal. I know I have 2 more. I guess I have 2 more rounds in the tournament, but there's a lot of talk of a rematch between me and Jason Knight.
There you
go. So maybe I might take a 1 off from the tournament, get this match out with Jason Knight out of the way, give the fans a fight that they want to see, and then get back into the tournament. We'll see.
Jeremy said, "Keep crushing it, bro."
So
appreciate it.
I watched a little bit of bare knuckle fighting. It seems like it's pretty simple. You just hit each other. There's no grappling. You can't do anything. It's just that's really it, right? I mean, you're just hitting. You're not grappling. It's not MMA. So what is it?
Yeah. So, man, I probably was as educated as you are right now in it. When they first reached out to me, I never watched the fight. I didn't know anything about it. I kind of knew a little bit that Jason Knight fought in it because I follow him. We fought before, but I had never even seen the fight. So I go and I watch it, and I'm like, oh shit, these guys beat the crap out of each other. But then I watch other fights, and I'm like, oh, these aren't as bad. I'm like, that Jason Knight fight was just an Arnhem was just a very crazy fight. Basically, it's just like boxing, but you can clinch. So as long as you're throwing from the clinch still, then they don't stop the fight. So that's why I get that half plumb, and I'm throwing those uppercuts to the hooks, and I think because of my grappling, it kind of plays effect because I kind of can know how to control and move my opponent, having them feel my weight on them and get them tired faster.
Yeah, that's got to wear you down. You got your weight. You just pulling on him, and he's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I like to use. I mean, Randy Couture was someone that I kind of looked up to, and he had an awesome dirty boxing. So I kind of try to do the same thing as him.
I've just remembered every time he says this stuff, I just remember him saying he can take you, and I'm just like,
yeah. I just sat back and laughed. I was like, no.
Yeah, both being awesome instantly. We're just like, no.
I wasn't even like we had to switch lobbies, and I wasn't in yet. I'm messaging Chris on Facebook. Chris, you're fucking stupid. No, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, just as we're talking, it's just like, dude, are you not listening to this? He sets you up. He leaves on you. He's gonna uppercut you. I go, that padding is gonna keep you from having a major concussion.
But he might end up being a counselor for me, Greg. He might be like, look, you can make a pro debut. You took all my hits, and you kind of worked with me a little bit, so you can make a pro debut. We're gonna get you ready. No, I'm just
like those scared straight things. He'll put you on a straight path. Let me tell you, son, you got a bright.
You will be like, I don't even want to talk about combat sports anymore. After that,
this is not your future, but you have a bright future ahead of you. But this is not it.
He can sit me down like the elementary school student. Look, son, this is not your path. But
I've been watching.
We'll have to do this.
I'm watching Ultimate Fighter. I love MMA more and more in the past couple of years. And recently, I mean, for some reason, Hulu only has 2 seasons on there, so I'm watching season 18 with Rousey and Tate. And one of the fighters didn't make weight. How hard is it to maintain your weight? With me being a heavy set guy, it's probably easy being heavyweight. But you're being 145. Is it a toll on your body?
Man, so the majority of my career, I fought at 145. And when I first started fighting, I was 21 years old. and I was only weighing like 155 maybe. So I didn't have to go to the sauna. I would like jump rope in the garage and I'll make weight easy. Every single fight though, my body was like, nope, I'm not letting you lose this weight. Nope, I'm not letting you cut weight again. So I gained weight, 1 or 2 pounds, whatever, every fight. By the time my last fights, especially in the UFC, I was cutting from 185 to 145. Yeah, and I think I think I remember I had a fight scheduled for after my wedding, and I went on. We went to the wedding. We had the whole thing. We went to our honeymoon, and I had 6 weeks to make 145. I was 187. Oh, and wow. I made it. I've never missed weight. I made it, but now, which is crazy now, because I don't know. I just used to fight, and then I would just blow up. I'll eat everything, eat, take like a month off, and but now I stay close to my weight. I walk around like at 165, 170, and I fight at 155 now, and I feel better than ever. I'm undefeated at 155 in MMA and bare knuckle. I think in MMA I was like 4-0, and bare knuckle I'm 4-0 now. I think that's my weight class. I'm happy to be there, and I never want to cut weight like that again.
Oh, I don't. So the producers asked a question. You got anything coming down the pipeline, like besides like a for sure thing that you want to break news, that we got coming out? You're like, I'm pretty sure that happens.
I wish, man. Like I said, kind of everything was put on hold after this whole Corona thing, So I really have no idea what's going to happen next. I was talking to the president of Bare Knuckle yesterday, and I was like, man, are we putting on a show? Are we essential business or not? And
WWE is. Why not you guys?
Yeah. So I mean, he told me he'll find out Friday. So I was like, hey, if something's happening, I want in. I want to fight. I want something to happen. So we'll see.
Where's that promotion based out of? I couldn't really find where they're based out of. Where's Bare Knuckles based out of, their promotion?
So I know that they're from Pennsylvania. So David Feldman, he's from Pennsylvania. I know they've done most of their shows, I guess, in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Yeah, I heard Biloxi.
But I don't know where's their headquarters, I guess you would call it.
So okay. You're talking about so you're really close with the president and the CEO of Bare Knuckle Fighting. You gotta hook us up, man, and get a press pass for your next fight. We come down there and see you live.
Craig won't.
Oh, that'd be cool, man. Yeah, man. So
we'll be down there.
At first I was all like at first I was like, I don't know about Biloxi, but it was actually not too bad of a place, man. It's a weird place, that's for sure, but it's the cool place. Mississippi was cool, but I'd love to have you guys out. I'll try to talk to them and see what's up for sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You just said that the other day, didn't it? So Mississippi's a weird place, Craig. Didn't you say that?
Yeah. We rode through. It's different. It's different. I came from the Northwest, born and raised up there in Oregon, and then we moved down here to Florida. So it's just wanted the warmth. Wanted to be warm. I was tired of being cold.
So you're originally from down south?
Yeah.
I was born in New York City, but I didn't live there for too long. A few years, like 4 years. And I lived in South Florida pretty much till I was 18. Moved to Orlando, lived there for 10 years. And then now I'm back home.
I love South Florida. The culture in South Florida is so different. We got to get Craig down there. He's from Oregon, like he said. He's never. I don't think he's been past Central Florida. He might have been a little further, but I love South Florida. Love in South Florida is so real. But some places don't get caught out after dark in South Florida. But it's fun. South Florida's a fun city.
It's way different, man. Even it was kind of hard to get adjusted to it again after living in Orlando. Orlando is just. I love Orlando, man. That's my second home. It's different, man. Orlando is. I can't explain it, man. It was just a fun place. I felt like people were nicer in Orlando than they are down here for sure. All of my best friends still live in Orlando. So I don't know, man. If I had the chance to move back up there and then open up the business and everything with the family, you know, I would jump to it probably.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. Definitely. Like I said, love to get a chance to, meet you face to face and actually just talk with you that way. You know, we're all here in the Orlando area. So, and then the producer, he had a
nice. Yeah. I saw you had Mitchell Tamale on the other day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He was fun.
That was a really fun interview. And like I said, it would be one of those, even sometime up to his gym, if we get you up this way, I mean, that might even be the easiest way to get this sparring session out of the way and show Chris just what he doesn't know.
The guillotine factory.
Yeah.
Nah.
He'll find the street way of fighting is going to go real south when that rear naked choke comes on him all of a sudden. And tap it out on the mat. Realize that those wild swings don't cut it.
Craig, I'll go sleep before I tap.
No, go to sleep. Yeah.
Oh man, that's what everybody says. That's what everybody says, man. I'm a man. I'm gonna go to sleep.
You start seeing stars.
Doesn't happen that way.
I'll take it from a pro. I'll take your advice from a pro.
Yeah, he'll make that one mistake, and you'll just put him in the nice little easy arm bar, and it'll be like, I'm just gonna tell you, tap, come on, tap.
Come on.
I'm giving you a chance. No, so your gym, what's the name?
That's what's crazy. So it's just Alers Martial Arts. So my last name, Martial Arts, located in Pembroke Pines, West Pembroke Pines. It was hard because I was like, man, what do I want to name it? What do I want to do? But honestly, I feel like I have a style that a lot of people don't have. My striking is different. My jiu-jitsu is different. I have a wrestling background. And I've learned from so many different people. I wasn't one person who stood at one gym for 20 years and learned from one guy. I was like, I want to learn from whoever's willing to teach me. I want to learn from everybody. So I jumped around from gym to gym. And, I had a home gym still, but I wanted to learn from everyone. If my gym told me I wasn't allowed to go to a gym because of some bullshit politics, then I was like, this is not the gym for me, Wow. So my whole thing was learn from everybody. That's what I tell my students. I tell my students, hey, I want you to learn from people, bring it back, teach us some cool things. But just know that I'm always going to be here for you guys, and so.
I wish you're closer. I'm trying to find a gym. I'm trying to get back into it. We were up in Oregon. It was a combination of Taekwondo, MMA. It had all different disciplines that he had mixed in Master K, and we ended up green belts. And I want that kind of gym again. I don't want the belt factory. I want the one where you actually go in and train. You don't just go in and get money.
Orlando has so many great gyms, man. I'm close with pretty much every head coach over there in Orlando. Everybody is really cool and welcoming, man. So, I mean, just literally look up the closest gym next to you, and I'm sure you'll find awesome mixed martial arts gym around there. Nice.
And so, yeah, we'll definitely try. I might hit you up and say, hey, what do you, just quick, what's your opinion on this one? If you're like, then I said, I'll take that as a definite. I'm going to give him a chance.
Yeah.
Because I need to get back in there and get rid of this. It's starting to get a little bit bigger.
Hey, that's the toughest step, man. Everybody says they're going to do it. The hardest step is just walking through the doors. Once you walk through the doors, man, your life's going to change.
Yeah, I got two little boys, man. They're just beating the shit out of each other. I want them to train. I'm tired of them beating my ass. I want them to beat each other up now.
There you go. Yeah, do you have a website for your gym?
AlersMartialArts.com.
AlersMartialArts.com. Okay.
Right down.
Yeah, I want to make sure you get a plug for your stuff. Do you have any gear that you want to plug, or is that on your site as well?
Yeah, pretty much on my site, man. If you go, especially I'm really active on Instagram. So I'm going to be doing a lot of giveaways too coming up. Just I realized I have a bunch of like UFC and bare knuckle stuff that I'm like, man, I don't even have space for this. So I'm gonna start doing a bunch of giveaways. So my Instagram for the gym is at Alers Martial Arts, and for myself is at Fight Gym. So UFC, like authentic posters, gloves, all kind of stuff I'm gonna be giving away in the next couple days.
Nice. So
Nice.
make sure we
That's
send
awesome.
some people your way that too. And it is. You got your cat photo bombing you there in the back.
I know, man. It's like kicking me in the head.
But
That's awesome.
taking the cheap shots, just hitting you as you're not paying attention.
I think he's licking his balls, though. I think. Honestly.
That's what
Can't do, man. Damn.
I said. It's just like he's just photo bombing you back as you're just doing it. Well, Jim, I really appreciate you coming on, sir.
Thank you, man. That was great.
Being able to reschedule us,
For sure, man.
And we definitely want to have you on again.
I had a good time.
Yeah,
Well,
Thank you. Appreciate it. Anytime you want to pop in, just send us a message. You're always welcome to pop in. If you got some new endeavors coming up, you always welcome to pop in on us. We're always here.
Yeah.
Yep. Share the dates on that Fight Mixer.
For sure, man. Awesome. Nice talking to you guys.
Yeah. Well, have a great evening, sir. Appreciate it, and we will talk to you soon.
Go.
All right. That was awesome.
That was cool.
Yeah,
you can take him, Chris? You want to take him or no?
I'll sign the waiver. I'll sign the waiver. Debbie, we're going to have you there so you can doctor me up.
Yeah.
So Debbie, we need you first to go out and earn some way to
some paramedics, some medics.
No, you're going to need to last rites.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, wait a minute. He said he's a medic, but everybody he touched died. So I don't feel too comfortable with it. He said he was a medic, but we're good. I mean,
yeah. So and everybody, like I said, we got a little bonus thing. We've got Joey Wilk. He's going to be joining us here shortly. We had him on earlier. We're just going to follow back up with him, see how things are going here, bring him back on the new Fight Mixer, portion of the podcast. So Matt will let us know when he's ready to come on here. But yeah, Chris, dude.
Hey,
what's going on?
Living the high life over there. Now I don't
high
know.
Life. There we go.
I don't know if you just saw what just happened there. That Chris told Jim Alers that he could take him.
That he could take me?
No, that he could take Jim Alers, who we just had on. Yeah, that he could take him, and we're like, the only way we're gonna let this happen is you have to be in full padding because you're gonna, it's gonna
just
be
for his safety.
Yeah, just for his safety.
Hey, you gotta take all comers, man, in the fight game. You can't be picky. And I'm not picky with my fights, and I'm not picky with my women. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I mean, like I said on the podcast, I said, hell, I might be ready for a pro debut after you go up against me. Like, yeah, you got it. I mean, or I'll go to sleep one. I'll be. They'll be like, yeah.
Knockout.
I've been knocked out before. It ain't that bad. So
it's not yet.
It's not the end of the world.
We'd start taking the betting odds somewhere around 1.5 minutes and under for a KO.
What if you just run the whole time, man? If they set that bet, just keep your hands up and stay on your horse.
Yeah, like Mayweather. Be like, hey, here we go. Hey.
Just run. Keep running, Chris.
Run. Run, Forrest.
He's catching you. Run.
The problem with bare knuckle, though, is that you toe the line. So you start face to face. It's a little bit more difficult.
Now, what? I'm trying to remember with the fight weight class. You was it 155? Is that where you're at?
Yep, I'm set to fight at 155 for bare knuckle. Yeah.
So you and Jim actually are really close in that. Like I said, I mean, would that be something like you guys, you'd be willing to, hit him up for a fight?
Hey, Joe, when you fight Jimmy Eilers, what date and what arena? Let's fucking get it.
There we go.
Like I told you,
set it up.
I'm not in this fight game. There's a lot of Instagram fighters, is what I like to call them. they want to pick and choose their fights, and then like play the whole fighter persona. Essentially, when I have a fighter, I can explain this really easy. When I have a kid at my gym that wants to fight, I pull him aside one-on-one, and I go, "Hey, do you really want to fight, or do you want to get pussy?" And I'm dead serious. And because if you really want to fight, okay, all the benefits come. The girls, and you get paid, you do all that. But if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, then I'm not going to put the work in to get you ready. You know what I mean? And so a lot of Instagram fighters out there, a lot of people that turn down fights. And I've legitimately never turned down a fight, and I won't. So yeah, if they called me, that's a high profile fight. Yeah, he's got a bigger name than me, so I would jump on it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Whoever, whatever.
Okay.
So we'll set it up.
Yeah, well, I was just getting ready to text him. I was like, "Hey, you want to come back on and talk with Joey?"
We can add y'all in. Hey.
Yeah, for sure. Bring them on. It's all love, but man, this is a business, and like I've always said this, and I mean this. Like, I'd fight Prime Fedor. Like, I'd fight Brock Lesnar, right? Like, to me, what it's about is like put it on the line. And by the way, I want to make sure you guys all know, asterisk, I wouldn't win either one of those fights, probably. But I would fight him. I would go in there and I would put it on the line and I'd fight him. And especially under rules, you know what I mean? It's a whole different thing. Like, I wouldn't street fight Brock Lesnar. God damn, unless I had to. I think I'm probably faster than him and Fedor, so I'd probably be all right. But under rules, and when the fight gets stopped and everything like that, I'll legitimately fight anybody for money. This is prize fighting. That's what we're in. I'll fight people for a lot less money than most people too. I was on the official Bare Knuckle podcast the other night, and I told everyone I was going to start undercutting them. That's going to be my shit. I'm going to be like, "Wait, y'all are fighting? How much you paying him? I'll do it for half."
You gonna be cutthroat? Oh, he said you gonna be cut like the lawn man, like the lawn man said, "I'll cut your shit for $5." Okay, well go ahead and cut it. You know, he got all the lawn.
I thought I was fighting this guy. No, you're fighting Joey tonight. Okay.
The amount of money some of these people get paid, I just can't even believe it. Like, I legitimately, like, I don't think there's anyone in the world I wouldn't fight for 5 G's. Like, I've been paid a lot more than that before, but these guys get like 100 G's, 50 G's. Bro, you better not be making any complaints for a fist fight. We do this all the time, dude. We do this all the time. Like, but being real though, like that, I'm pretty much joking because fighters are grossly underpaid. So I wouldn't like ever step in and like undercut people and do that because we don't get paid what we deserve anyway. But my point is, I can't believe people get phone calls about fights with 6 digits and be like, no, I don't want to fight him. Like, what?
That's right.
You better call my ass. That I should just be the guy that people call K shit. They should just call me K shit. K shit happens, and I'll jump right in that motherfucker.
So how's quarantine treating you?
Dude, it's actually I'm trying not to lose my mind, you know. I own and run a gym, so that part of it's tough. But I'm training all the time. I'm studying all the time. I'm doing I shit you not. Look at this. This is so funny. Can you see it? Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, terrible technology. This is a tonfa, a nightstick. Yep. So I got that as a gift from a traditional martial arts guy that I trained a long time ago, and he gave me a book, and it's just sat there. But I have so much time now. I was like, that's not something I would normally do because I don't have the time. Like I run 2 businesses. I train and fight also on top of that. But I was like, man, right now I got nothing but time. I grabbed the book, grabbed the tonfa. I started just learning how to do some new shit, you know? Like, I'm trying to just occupy my brain because I keep feeling myself wanting to get stir crazy and get loose, you know? So I get I have a checklist of shit that I got to do every day. I work out twice a day. I study. I do tactical training, like weapons training, like with my guns. Doing this tonfa thing. I do all of this stuff on my checklist. And then once I've checked all of them off, I go directly to the refrigerator and I grab an ice cold beer, and then I hit relax and make sure I'm enjoying my lifetime. I can't, for a couple weeks I was just living like a Spartan through all of this, and just all work and no play. But that's when I felt myself starting to lose it a little bit, you know. And the fights got rescheduled. The bare knuckle fights are rescheduled for June 20th if they do happen. And you know, I've stayed in shape. I've kept on my diet, but man, when it comes nighttime, man, I'm gonna drink a few beers. I'll run it off tomorrow, man. I'm gonna bump music. I have like dance parties by myself in here with my dogs and shit. Like, I'm not gonna be miserable.
The question of the hour: are you a Sig guy or a Glock guy?
So I used to own a Glock. So right now the shit I'm on, I'm actually on my tactical training. I've been doing. I have a modified Remington 870 12 gauge. I just overheard everybody in the world should own an 870, dude. You can fucking hunt with it. You can defend with it. So like I modified it. So like I use it as my home defense gun. That's like what I got in my room. I think the whack whack makes people think a lot.
Whack whack.
And then so I shortened the barrel. I got a shell extender on it. All the like little bells and whistles. So what I'm working on though is that like I'm not a bad shot, but with the stuff I'm working on is like tactical reloading. You know, like just getting those repetitions. The tactical stuff's a lot like fight stuff. You've got to repetition, man.
If you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Right. Yep. So I've just got nothing but time. So I do my tactical training every day, my fight training, 2 workouts, and then I study some kind of killing every day, whether that's hand to hand or with a weapon system. Every day for at least an hour, I sit down, I take notes, I get on a subject, I stick with it. I don't go like flying off. I'm not like trying to get new stuff. I'm trying to stick to like super basic stuff that I can get better at. And I'm making sure I get all that shit done. So I don't, cause like my personality, man, like if 25-year-old me during this, I literally would have woke up and been like, oh man, I drank too much last night. Cracked a beer. Like that's exactly what I would have done, you know, and like Pornhub and video games or whatever. So, I'm trying, now me being a little bit more mature, which I'm actually not more mature, I guess. I just know myself well enough now not to let myself like get into that shit. So now like this is keeping me out of trouble, and also just really importantly keeping me sane. That's like. But
that's the best way to get over a hangover. When you wake up and you're still drunk, crack another one and you'll run it for the rest of the day.
Dude, sometimes it's the only option. If you got shit to do, like if you have something important to do, like you could either go in there like and look like a zombie. Like I've had some important business meetings, dude. I was in Germany and we were sitting down into a business meeting that like had $1 million implications, right? And we were so hungover and I was like, boys, there's only one option in this whole matter. There's no way we could go in there looking like this. So we fucking drop a couple beers, keep it rolling, and you're right back in the game. But it doesn't make it go away. It just delays it. Like that's what
just delays it till
you're still gonna get hit with the hangover.
Yeah. Nice. No, that's.
Did he say he's gonna come back, Craig, for the verdict? What's the verdict? Is he coming back?
I haven't heard back from him yet. So like I said, he probably had shut it off already. So we'll have to try to get this together at another time.
We'll make sure we send it to him because you say if it makes your dick move.
Well, just like I said, 2 things. I think. Are you talking about Alers?
Yeah. Alers. Yeah.
He fights at 45, right?
He moved up to 155.
Oh, perfect. Then yeah, anytime. I can't fight under 55 ever again. I fought a big portion of my career at 45, and I actually had some legit like kidney issues. I used, because I can only get down to about 160, so I used to cut like 15, 16, 17 pounds the day of weigh-ins all the time, and that really fucking fucked me up. So the doctors told me I didn't have to stop fighting, but they said I could never do like those drastic water cuts like that again.
Yeah, that's what he said. He goes, he prefers the 155 because he feels better and just everything. It was kind of like what you said. It's just once you moved up, you're just like, God, this feels so much better because I'm not having to just
the culture's changing. You know, everyone's starting to do a lot more of that and jump different weight classes. You know, I think that's again, fighters need to be fighters, man. Like I get so sick and tired of like when you guys probably do too, like hearing the same interview over and over and over again. Like, man, get some fucking personality, get some fucking balls, quit ducking fucking fight. And when people put a microphone in your fucking face, do your job and entertain. Don't fucking sit. Like if I hear, dude, here, hold on, watch this. Ready? My impression of 90% of fighters in the game. That's the best training camp I ever had. I just really want to thank God and my family. You know, I really pushed myself harder than ever this training camp, and you know, I'm willing to die in there. And like, shut the fuck up with your robotic sounding fucking ass. No, have some personality. Be yourself, even if you're a goofball. You know what I mean? Like our job is to entertain, not just through fighting. Man, I grew up on pro wrestling. You got to be a fucking character, man, and you got to have something to set you apart.
I think McGregor. One of the things I like the most about him is like, especially his pressers are so entertaining. Is one, he's jumping up, taking the belt from the champ, holding it up, and saying, "Oh, this is going to be mine." He's throwing around his proper 12 whiskey,
right?
You know, yelling at people. And I'm like, it's like you said, it's not the guy that just sits here. You know, just reading the cue card that he was given by his rep, telling you, like, okay, just say this. Don't give me stuff. You know, I like the feet on the desk. You know, just like.
Yeah, there was a period in time when I hired an agent. So I got offered the Bellator tournament, but I had the UFC in my inbox. And you know what I really this was so obviously a while back because Bellator is still doing tournaments. What I really wanted to do was go to the UFC, and Bellator was telling me, you know, that's what they do. They're just trying to like basically player hate on us. So anyway, I fucking get linked. My manager hooks me up with this agent. I go and meet with this agent that's helped so many people get to the UFC. And I go and I have lunch with this chick, and she has like her reputation in the game is just flawless. So we sit down and she's like, okay, well, first of all, I need you to you know, tone it down a little bit with your personality. You know, she's like, I went through your Facebook, and she's like, quit sticking your tongue out in pictures and throwing your hands up and stuff. She's like, I need you to quit doing all that. And I was just like, yeah, fuck this. Then I won't go. Then I won't fucking go. Period. I'm just going to be me, man. I was about 25 when I realized I'm done fucking pretending to be somebody I'm not to make other people happy. Like, so ever since then, I'm just like 100% me all the time, and you can fucking like it or love it or not fuck with me, and that's it.
One of our number one fans said, how did you get into the sport? She is by far one of the biggest MMA women in the world. She'll tell you anything about MMA, all the fight nights, every combat night. She follows MMA to the fullest, and she just wants to know, how did you get into the MMA sport?
Well, I got into MMA. I have a very cliche story. Actually, I was a shithead kid. I grew up playing basketball, and then I'll make it quick. I could get into depth, but I have like a literal like 80s cliche martial arts movie story. That I was an athlete, and then I got into bullshit. I got into fucking drugs and trouble and all sorts of stuff later in high school, and just heading down the wrong path. They kicked me off the basketball team, and then I went from like literally like working out every day since I was a kid. All of a sudden I didn't do that anymore, and I had no concept of like nutrition, so I didn't change anything diet wise. I was still like on Mountain Dew and Doritos. I lived at mom's house, you know, the cupboards and the fridge were always full. And so next thing you know, I ballooned way the fuck up, and you know, I'm not a big guy, but I was even smaller then, and I was like 215 and not a good 215. And I basically was like, man, I wonder why I don't get chicks anymore like I used to get chicks. And like, I didn't like see it in myself. Like I couldn't notice it because it happened gradually over time. But then I had a chick break it to me, basically. Like fucking grabbed my belly. It was like, damn, you got fat. And I was like, what, word? And so I was like, okay, I better run every day. So I went on my first day of running every day. And I ran like half a mile, still living with mom. And I ran like half a mile and I quit, and I was walking, and there's a fitness gym right there, and had a sign in the window as I walked by. It said new martial arts. That's all it said. It was like tight, like white piece of paper with fucking words on it. I walked in, this the guy teaching was in a racquetball court, so I was above it looking down, and it looked to me, I was like, damn, it looks like fucking karate, but they're wrestling. It kind of looks like that Hoist Gracie shit, because I watched all the UFCs growing up. And he invited me down to try out jiu-jitsu classes. I started the next morning, and I've literally never looked back. It's all I've really done or pursued since. That was 20 years ago, March 1st. March 1st, 2000 was when I walked in, and I just decided to go for it. And then, MMA wasn't even a thing back then. They called it NHB, no holds barred. And there were a lot of guys around me fighting, and I'd end up helping them train for fights and get ready. And then I was like, I knew I wanted to do it, but it was kind of out of my character. Honestly, I wasn't really a fighter. Like a street fighter, I'd had my fair share of fights, but I had easily lost as many as I had won. I'm pretty mouthy, if you can't tell. But I wasn't a big guy. And so, and then, I dove in and I started doing it, and I saw success. And man, like I always hear people talk about, I've never done heroin, but people talking about like heroin, they go, oh, you're always chasing the dragon, right? You try it one time and then you're always chasing that feeling again. And for me, that's what fighting's always been like. I've just like, ever since I got a taste of it, I'm always running after that, and like, I can't quit you. No matter how hard I try, I can't quit you. I would be fighting into my 50s probably. So
awesome. No, that's cool. Well, Joe, thank you for coming back on, man. At such short notice. That was
always fun.
Dude, I'm telling you, if you guys have cancellations, jump in the Facebook DMs. I'll drop everything. I love doing this. Is what I love to do, man. I've never shied away from cameras and microphones. So you guys just say when, I'll jump on anytime. And if Alers wants to get back on here, I'd love to hustle my way into a high profile fight quickly in bare knuckles. So I'm up for whatever.
What's your motto? If it makes your dick moves, you're in, all in?
Right. That's right. If I feel the front of my pants move a little bit, I dive head first.
All right.
And that ain't always just about fighting.
Well, hey,
thank you.
Good luck not going stir crazy, man. Keep up with the training. They said, let us know as soon as you get something lined out. I mean, hopefully we'll be the ones helping you line that up. But if not, like I said, let us know because we want to keep up with it.
June 20th is supposed to be the bare knuckle fights we had in Wichita that got canceled. It's supposed to be rescheduled June 20th, the exact same fight card. So as far as I know, but who knows with all this stuff going on, I wouldn't be surprised if that gets pushed back again or doesn't happen. But I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop and hit me up anytime, man. I'll come on here and run my mouth.
Florida's trying, man. We got wrestling as an essential, so we're trying to get So if wrestling is essential, I can't believe MMA sports aren't too far behind.
All right,
June 20th is a weekend. It's a Saturday. We should make it up there.
All right, Joe. Well, thank you very much again, sir. You have a great evening, and we will talk again soon.
All right. Peace.
So, all right. Thank you. All right, everybody. This episode of Fight Mixer and Three Beards podcast has been brought to you by Brat's Beard Care, beard oil, beard soap, amazing. Chris, we got to get you the beard comb so you can use that instead of that gavel.
Right.
Comb the beard. Yep. Yes. So Kelly Brat makes some amazing stuff. Check that out at bratsbeardcare.com. Use promo code 3beards, capital B, get 20% off free shipping on your entire order. Amazing stuff. Can't recommend it highly enough because we all use it. Obviously not just because it's sponsored. I mean, we met him at a farmer's market and we just kind of went from there. Nanny Cakes, Nancy Burke. Check her out on her Facebook page, Nanny Cakes 407, and then call her at 407-923-2898. I'm not going to take any credit for that because it's on the screen right below me. That was easy to know. So I want to thank you. Check us out, please, on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Do whatever you need to do to get that stuff. Instagram, Twitter, like this, share this on Facebook, get this out to your friends. That way everybody can get out there and see this and help us grow, help other people that might be bored and interested, get them to where they can have something going on. And give you guys a teaser for upcoming. We have Sunday night at 8:29. We should be starting to go live. It'll be Jessica Borga.
We should have somebody else on too.
And invite her. And we're trying to do that. And we might have somebody prior to that, but for sure right now it's Jessica Borga at 8:30 on Sunday night for the Fight Mixer show. Come check that one out. She should be real entertaining. Hell of a fighter, Black Widow. I said it'd be a really good conversation.
She fights Bellator.
Well, thank you, Debbie. Appreciate that. I said, hope everybody has a great evening. Thanks again for watching. It was a little extended show, but it was pretty cool. We had a couple. Yes, thank you, Jim.
Great, worth it.
And thank you, Joey, for coming on. Appreciate it very much, gentlemen. Have a good night.